What if I told you that right now? Yes, right now, there's an unseen presence watching over you, waiting to touch your body, calm your mind, and repair your broken spirit. A divine healer with wings of light, eyes like calm fire, and hands that carry the balm of heaven. His name is whispered in ancient texts, not as a myth, not as a symbol, but as a real force sent by God himself. He walked with men, defeated demons, and cured blindness using the organs of a fish. There are moments in life when doctors fail, when medicine doesn't work, and when therapy cannot reach the wound buried inside your soul. In those silent moments when the world has run out of answers, and you find yourself whispering, "God, if you are there, help me," a radiant presence begins to move. His name, Raphael, the Archangel of Healing. And if you're tired of the pain, the fear, the unanswered prayers, maybe, just maybe, it's time you called on him too. Before we start, please give this video a like, as well as supporting the channel. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more Bible story like this one. Before there were hospitals, before medicine had a name, before the human heart even knew how to ask for help, there was Raphael. He doesn't thunder like Michael. He doesn't carry the scrolls of divine wisdom like Gabriel. And yet, in the quiet corners of heaven's design, there's an archangel whose very presence breathes life into despair, calms the storm in the soul, and restores brokenness to divine perfection. His name means God heals. That's not poetry. That's his job description. Raphael. To understand who Raphael is, you must go beyond wings and halos. You must imagine light that doesn't blind but soothes, a voice that doesn't echo but whispers into wounds, an angel not of war or prophecy, but of healing, deep healing, the kind that stitches not just skin, but the human spirit. Like all angels, Raphael was not born. He was created, hand-formed by the breath of God, crafted from celestial essence to serve a divine purpose. His name appears in ancient texts, some lost to time, others still sung in monasteries and whispered in hospital prayer rooms. He is one of the 7 archangels that stand closest to God's throne, each assigned a cosmic task. Michael, the warrior, Gabriel, the messenger, Raphael, the healer. His first recorded appearance is in a strange, beautiful, almost forgotten book, the Book of Tobit, a story so practical it almost feels earthly, yet so miraculous it couldn't be anything but divine. A blind father, a desperate son, a woman tormented by a demonic spirit, a journey across desert lands. And at the heart of it all, a stranger who isn't a stranger at all. He introduces himself as Azarias, just another traveler, just another man. But under the disguise is Raphael, sent by God to walk beside Tobiah and orchestrate a healing so specific, so personal. It feels like the kind of story meant just for you. He doesn't shout. He guides. He doesn't boast. He serves. He doesn't demand worship. He delivers hope. The miracle wasn't just the healing of Tobit's eyes. It was the restoration of trust in God's timing, the banishment of fear, the union of 2 souls destined for each other. Raphael didn't just show up with divine fireworks. He slipped into the background of human need and did what so many doctors, parents, lovers, and strangers have done since. He healed. And isn't that exactly what we need today? In a world broken by war, disease, mental torment, anxiety, depression, addiction, and doubt, the need for healing is not just physical anymore. It's spiritual, emotional, deep, and Raphael, though ancient, is not gone. He still walks with the broken. He still stands beside the bed of the sick. He still whispers to the overwhelmed mother, the trembling child, the man who thinks he has no more chances. You may not see him, but if you've ever felt a calm come over you in chaos, if you've ever received peace where there should have been panic, if a stranger ever told you just the words you needed to hear without knowing your pain, Raphael may have passed by. He is the unspoken prayer answered, the shift in atmosphere, the warmth behind the doctor's hand, the clarity before a breakthrough. And if your heart is weary now, if your body aches or your spirit feels like it's drowning, keep watching, keep listening. Every healer carries a tool. A doctor has a stethoscope. A nurse carries compassion. But Raphael, he carries heaven's toolbox, filled not with instruments of surgery, but with weapons of light touch and timing. We often imagine angels as floating beings with wings like swans and glowing halos like golden suns. And while that image is beautiful, Raphael is far more practical than mythical. He doesn't show up just to be admired. He comes to do something, to heal, to deliver, to restore. But how does a celestial being heal a mortal body? A tormented mind? A broken soul? Let's go back to the Book of Tobit, where Raphael's presence wasn't flashy, but divinely strategic. On their journey, Tobiah is attacked by a fish in the Tigris River. Most of us would scream, run, maybe throw a rock. But Raphael tells Tobiah, catch the fish. Its heart, liver, and gall could be used for healing. Wait, what? A fish attack becomes a healing moment? Yes. Under Raphael's instruction, the liver and heart were later used to drive away a demon tormenting Sarah, a woman plagued by a dark spiritual force that killed every man she tried to marry. And the gallbladder was applied to Tobit's eyes, restoring his sight. Do you see it? Where humans saw an inconvenience, a random fish, a danger, Raphael saw a remedy. That's how he works. He'll use what you already have. Your pain, your past, your mess, that thing you thought was sent to break you, under Raphael's guidance, could become the very thing that heals you or someone else. Raphael is often shown carrying a staff, not a sword. He's a traveler, a guide, a companion on the road. He doesn't fight with force. He leads with presence. The staff is symbolic. In ancient times, a staff was for shepherds and wanderers. Raphael's staff reminds us that healing is a journey, sometimes slow, sometimes winding. He doesn't always bring instant miracles. Sometimes he just walks beside you through your pain, through your therapy, through your grieving. And the cloak? It's what made him look human to Tobias. This is how Raphael often operates. He blends in. He could be the nurse who held your hand, the friend who checked in, the stranger who gave you hope at your lowest. He wears a cloak of people in your life to disguise divinity in humanity. You know that moment when you walk into a room and suddenly feel peace? Like a fog lifts? That's not just good vibes. Raphael's presence is often felt before it's seen or known. He brings calm to chaos, literally shift the air around suffering. When he enters, fear gets nervous, darkness retreats. His presence is warm, like sunlight after a storm, gentle but commanding. He heals through presence, not performance. Some of us are still waiting for God to send us some fire, lightning, or a talking donkey to prove he's working. But Raphael, he might just nudge you toward that doctor's appointment you've been avoiding. He might inspire your grandma to make you that soup that feels like it fixes your entire life. He might whisper to you in the shower when your guard is finally down and your spirit is open. That's how Raphael moves. No spotlight, no stage, just quiet authority. And yet, he is fierce when needed. He doesn't just heal wounds. He defends those he's assigned to. He battles demonic interference that blocks your breakthrough. He clears spiritual clutter. He silences lies that say you'll never recover. Raphael's healing goes beyond skin and organs. He touches trauma, loss, addiction, depression, and self-hatred. Where human hands stop, Raphael's touch begins. And here's the beautiful part. He's not rare. He's not reserved for saints and prophets. You can call on him today. You can invite him into your space now. So many of us struggle in silence. We sit in hospital waiting rooms with clenched fists and heavy hearts. We lie awake in the dead of night, scrolling through phones hoping to find a miracle in a meme. We drown our wounds in noise, distractions, even addictions, when all along there's a divine healer who waits. Not to be begged, but to be invited. Raphael, unlike human doctors, he doesn't need appointments. No insurance card. No long queues. All he needs is your openness, your willingness to ask. You might be wondering, do I need to be perfect? Pure? Holy? Do I need incense, candles, a cathedral, or ancient scrolls? No, you need only to be sincere. You need only to speak from your pain or whisper from your hope. How to call upon Raphael. Say the simple prayer with me now. Glorious Archangel Raphael, angel of healing and light, I invite your presence into my space, my body, and my soul. Bring your divine touch to what is broken. Heal not just what doctors see, but what I cannot speak. Walk beside me in this season. Guide my steps, renew my strength, and let heaven's peace flow through me. Amen. Did you feel that? That's not poetry. That's permission. Spiritual legal access you've just granted to a divine healer. Say it once, or whisper it 100 times. It's not the volume, it's the vulnerability. Let's talk real life for a moment. Grab a chair. No, seriously, any chair. Now, place it in front of you and say, Raphael, I make room for you. Now sit quietly. That chair, it's not just furniture. It's a faith symbol, a visible, physical space that says, I believe healing is coming. And do you know what happens when you act in faith like that? Peace settles. Tears sometimes fall. And slowly, healing begins. No, you don't need to be a priest. Take olive oil, coconut oil, or any clean oil, and place a dab on your forehead or heart. Say, Raphael, as I anoint this body, I invite divine healing to flow from heaven through every cell, organ, emotion, and thought. It might feel silly. You might chuckle. Good. Healing doesn't have to be gloomy. Raphael responds not just to pain, but to joy, laughter, and honesty. Turn off the chaos. Turn on soft instrumental worship, nature sounds, or pure silence. Light a candle. Open a window. Make the room feel like peace could walk in at any moment. Because he just might. You don't have to scream at God to be heard. You don't have to chase angels. You just have to open the door and they come. Sometimes healing comes fast. Other times, it's a quiet unfolding, like dawn creeping over darkness. But one thing is certain. When Raphael is present, nothing stays broken for long. And what if, just what if, the healing you need is bigger than your body? What if your wounds go back years? Back to childhood fears, betrayals, or heartbreaks? That is where Raphael truly shines. And Raphael, he's not just a healer. He's a heavenly soldier, dispatched to fight invisible battles on your behalf, long before you ever feel better. Let's make this painfully clear. You were never just fighting sickness. You were fighting fear. You were fighting the lies in your head. You were battling cycles passed down through your bloodline, trauma, addiction, depression, things your grandmother never healed from, things your father never talked about. And Raphael, he doesn't just treat the symptoms. He confronts the source. Let's say your leg is broken. You go to the hospital and they set the bone, right? Now, let's say your heart is broken. You go nowhere. You hide it under work, jokes, selfies, or spiritual masks. And that's where Raphael steps in. He performs what we might call spiritual surgery, not with scalpels or machines, but with truth, light, and divine authority. He goes deep into the places no one sees, the shame you buried under your smile. He peels back the layers, childhood rejection, words spoken over you in anger, guilt from past choices, and he heals the root, not just the fruit. This isn't just poetic. This is the raw, unfiltered truth of how healing works in the spirit realm. Have you ever had a dream where it felt like you were being attacked? Where you were frozen, trapped, paralyzed? Maybe you woke up sweating, heart racing, feeling like something was off. Well, you didn't know. Raphael may have been there, sword drawn, defending your soul while your body slept. There are demons that don't want you to recover. Dark forces assigned keep you addicted, anxious, or bitter. But Raphael's presence doesn't just mend bones and bodies. It disrupts those attacks. It breaks soul ties. It rewires thought patterns. He's not just healing your pain. He's protecting your progress. Here's the humbling part. You might never realize what Raphael has shielded you from. That bad feeling that made you cancel a trip. That coincidence where you bumped into someone who gave you hope. That sudden peace after days of torment. Raphael doesn't advertise his victories. He doesn't post it on divine Instagram. He works in silence. Because real healing doesn't demand applause. It demands transformation. We have come to the end of the healing angel Raphael. If this message touched you or reminded you that hope still exists, then don't keep it to yourself. Like this video. Share it with someone who's hurting. Comment below and tell us what part of Raphael's journey spoke to you most. Subscribe to this channel for more deep, meaningful content like this. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss when we drop something that your soul needs to hear.